Welcome to today's video, where we dive deep into the elusive concept of financial freedom. In a world where wealth is often equated with happiness, many of us find ourselves chasing after the next paycheck, the next promotion, or the next big purchase, believing that it will bring us the fulfillment we crave. But what if I told you that true financial freedom isn't just about the size of your bank account or the number of possessions you own? What if I told you that it's possible to live a life free from the constant worry about money, regardless of your income level or social status? As usual, a like and subscription to your channel will help the channel grow. Don't hesitate to take a few seconds to support the creators of this video. We'll get to the main content now. When he was young, Turney Duff made a list of 10 things in life that would make him happy. The first was to have a job on Wall Street, and the last was to have an income of over $1 million per year. Money can't buy happiness sounds really theoretical. When I hear people say this, I just want to punch them. I thought anyone who said this had never actually had money, Duff said. Duff completed his list when he was only 34. On Christmas Day, as Duff lounged on the sofa in his 250 square meters apartment in the heart of New York City, he received a $2 million bonus in his account. Everything seemed perfect. Duff had a girlfriend, a house in the most expensive neighborhood in the United States. He was a high-flying trader on Wall Street. He could commute to work by helicopter, have breakfast on a plane while watching the bustling traffic below. He went fishing in Costa Rica and caught a swordfish, a symbol of a powerful and successful man in the land of opportunity, at least on Instagram. Money, job, relationships, social status were all in his hands. According to the plan he had laid out for his life, this moment would become so happy and exhilarating, igniting endless moments of success and exhilaration in his life from now on. But Duff's satisfaction lasted only a few minutes. Like many of us, when we have a mansion, we want a castle. We are obsessed with the thought that, if I have X, I will be happy. And when X is in our hands, our slogan turns into, if I have Y, I will be happy. At that moment, Duff thought he was not happy yet. He had only earned $2 million a year. $2 million was still nothing compared to the billionaires on Wall Street and countless other successful guys across America. Only when he earned $3 million could he be happy. Duff frantically pursued money and did everything he could. He invested in a new rising rapper, bought a racehorse, wrote and produced 2 short films. He also invested in a fast food restaurant, bought a house in the city, and a 100-year-old house on Long Island. Millions of dollars quickly piled up in Duff's account. He lived like a god on Mount Olympus. Nights were spent partying with scantily clad girls, drinking as if it were water, and playing cocaine like we drink coffee every day. And the damn thing is, despite the increasing amount of money and fun Duff had, he still felt empty. The dopamine from the thrilling experiences he had quickly disappeared. The pride in the money he earned quickly vanished, only for him to frantically move on to the next goal. True happiness seemed to be right in front of him, and only needed a little more money, another property, another party, and a little more cocaine to be within reach. But the closer Duff got, the further away it seemed. The more he had, the more he felt lacking. Duff wasn't addicted to thrills, but he was addicted to money. To the point that even when his health deteriorated from overwork, and he was thrown into rehab, even when he realized that working on Wall Street had turned him into a money-hungry demon, Duff still lived and died by the trade. After all that he had acquired, Duff looked more like a slave to money than its master. Despite being immensely wealthy financially, he had no financial freedom. He had no freedom at all. Without even being in a prison, he had turned himself into a slave to money and thrills. Financial freedom is simply freedom from finance. Financial freedom is not having a lot of money, but not worrying about money. If you earn $1 million a year, but never get a good night's sleep, you're not as happy as someone who earns only a few $1,000s a month, but lives carefree. Duff is the epitome of financial freedom that successful speakers preach, but he seems more like a slave to finance. Well, he works on Wall Street. That means financial freedom depends on your mindset, not your wallet. Before you can double your income, it's easier if you adjust your mindset a bit. Because your income depends on your boss or market trends, but your mindset is entirely within your control. We are living in the most prosperous era in history. We are about 30 times richer than our parents' generation and about 77 times richer than our grandparents' generation. But ironically, most people still feel deprived. One of the most common topics in every conversation I've witnessed always revolves around two words: out of money. The funny thing is that people with stable jobs and incomes are the ones who talk about this the most. People feel deprived not because they have little money, but because they have too many ambitions. The huge amount of money that Turney Duff earned is nothing compared to his boundless desires. If at this moment you find yourself not having financial freedom, perhaps there's something you want to own, but don't. If that situation keeps happening, you might be pushing yourself into a situation like poor Turney Duff. Oh, no one is stealing our financial freedom except ourselves? The problem of modern times is that we let material possessions define ourselves. We assess someone as upper class or middle class through the house they live in, the car they drive, or the trips they post on Instagram. If someone lives in a luxury apartment and drives a Mercedes to work every morning, he is defined as upper class. If he owns 3 Ferraris and travels to Saudi Arabia, every word he says is no different from the gospel of God. We assess others through material possessions, so we also assess ourselves through material possessions. That's why we always want to own more material possessions, because that's how we believe we will elevate our self-worth. Of course, the more desires we have, the poorer we feel. The more we chase after material possessions, the more we become slaves to them rather than their masters. In Fight Club, the character Tyler Durden said a line that I really like: "The things you own end up owning you." When you let material possessions determine your identity, you're letting finance decide your life. When you let finance control your life, you surely can't have financial freedom. So the first step to achieving financial freedom is to redefine how you define yourself. Not learning how to invest in stocks and real estate, as successful speakers always say. It is said that when we are about to die, a film will play in our heads about everything we've done in life. Whether your departure is peaceful or not depends on whether you are satisfied with that movie. If the film is full of courage, strength, love, happiness, your last moment will be paradise. If it's just years of emptiness, suffering, resentment, desires, selfishness, your last moment will be hell. Even if you want to go back to fix some scenes, you won't be allowed to. You won't be allowed to take any baggage either. No matter how many houses, how much money, how many positions you have, you'll have to leave them behind. Your life is an accumulation of your living behaviors. It is defined by your behaviors, not what you own. When it comes time for you to leave this life, the last thing you look at will be how you lived, not the money left in your bank account. A good life is a life with good living behaviors. So focus on how to have good living behaviors, how to have scenes that every cell of your body smiles at. When reviewing, focus on living. Don't try to collect too many props. Money, houses, thrills, or all the external things are just tools of life, not the purpose of life. Many struggle just because they confuse these two. The purpose of life is to live well, which means having good living behaviors. Material possessions are only tools for you to perform the living behaviors you want, not something you should live for. Money is for meeting basic material needs. Cars are for transportation. Houses are for resting. Let them serve your life. Don't turn yourself into their tools. When you focus on living behaviors instead of material possessions, your material needs will automatically decrease significantly. Meaningless pleasures, luxurious items will no longer haunt you, because you no longer need them to stand firm amidst the vastness of life. You will still enjoy pleasures, you will still buy necessary items. It's just that now, you don't let them steer your life. Not having too many trips, houses, or cars to keep up with the Joneses will no longer be a burden to you. Because you don't define yourself by the likes on Instagram. When your material needs are minimized, you won't have to worry too much about finances anymore. Maybe you won't stand at the pinnacle of fame, but you'll live very happily and sleep very well. Both in the present moment and in your eternal sleep. Is that what freedom is? Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this topic in the comments section. Goodbye and see you in the next videos. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, and have a fantastic day.